And welcome back for the final time this evening, ladies and gentlemen, to the Universal Open Season 2. It is indeed time for our final game, and our final game is going to be Allegiance taking on Kingdoom. Now, gentlemen, we've already had some very interesting and the tightest matches we've had so far on the Universal Open on our day number one. What can we expect in this one? Because we had a little discussion in the break there about what we're expecting. You guys are thinking this is going to be a tight series, but definitely favouring Allegiance here.
Yeah, Seabass and Ty Tyler had a heck of a run throughout all the rival series. A bit of a stretch to get themselves into the RLCS time around, but they played it again. They've re-qualified for the RLCS again. So King Ranny and Doombug, you know, love those guys. King Ranny's great. I feel like I've heard Doombug's name so many times, but I couldn't tell you much about him. It's just like, oh yeah, Doombug. And, you know, I think they'll put up a decent fight, but I don't think there's any way you can pick them over Allegiance.
What about you, young man?
I feel like I've fought Doombug once in like some sort of MMORPG. But
I thought you were about to like reveal some sort of outside of the esports world.
Yeah, sure.
Beef
You got in a
that was
scrap
about to
with
go down there.
Doombug.
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, I remember fighting.
I remember fighting.
No, absolutely not. But this could be interesting. I think King Ranny, I mean, he's sort of let himself be known in the streaming world, but you know, he's stepping up right now and he's really performing to this. I think Doombug is someone who I'm less familiar with, but hey, I think we've learned something throughout this entire season, which is if we're unfamiliar with them, they tend to be pretty good.
No, they've got this far. That's what we have to remember. Whenever the players get these far, you know, there's qualifiers before the qualifiers that we're at the moment, and to get to this stage, to be in with a shot of qualifying for the regional LAN events, you've got to be pretty decent at the game. We just saw that in our last game. The guys taking on Evil Geniuses, Ducks on Quack. So they proved themselves as a very competent team, and we talk about that lower bracket and how it starts to fill up with teams that you don't want to be going up against. That's the team you're going to be wanting to avoid. And I think Kingdoom are probably looking at this series right now and thinking, if we can take this one and stay out of that lower bracket and give ourselves a real shot here at qualification, this is a huge series for them. And it's one that Allegiance could be looking at as well, seeing some of those teams that fall into the lower bracket and thinking the same thing. They don't want to be going down there this early.
Yeah, exactly. It's always a much harder fight. You never want to go down in the losers bracket. The journey just gets that much longer. It's a best of fives. You got a little bit of room to work with, but you know, it all comes down to that on the day. We've seen it happen a couple of times throughout now. Some teams just unfortunately don't show up sometimes.
I mean, today we've had a lot of very good series. You know, these underdog teams are really taking it here. Allegiance are going to come in as the favorites. The thing is, though, none of these teams have gone on to win. This is the final chance we have. The status quo has been questioned, but it has not been changed throughout today. So the last chance for it to happen, Kingdoom, they're holding the banner right now. Now, whether or not they can actually take it and take down Allegiance is a completely different matter, but I'm curious. I could see this one being another Game 5, but there's a whole range of numbers that come into me. I'm struggling to guess this one.
It could be anything from a 3-0 to a 3-2.
Nah. Nah. I think 3-0. Nah.
So you're saying not a 3-0. So 3-1 or a 3-2 is what you're going
all right, so this has been clipped right now for the 3-0 eventually happening.
Obviously.
And it's getting thrown in my face. So, hi, future me. You got it wrong. But yeah, I doubt a 3-0, especially the way today's been going. We can't have a great day of broadcasting like we had today and have a 3-0 finish
this has been a really exciting day. And, you know, we've got to show some love to all the teams that have been involved so far here in the Central Closed Qualifier. All of the guys have performed incredibly well. It's been a pleasure to sit here and watch, and I'm sure for you guys to cast away at as well.
Well, I've got a bigger reason as well why I don't want
Always has to upstage.
I know. Well, I'm not upstaging it for anyone.
I've got
because
a bigger reason.
This is for the world, okay? And this is the fact of 83 goals scored today.
Yep.
I don't think we can get 17 in a 3-0 series. That's going to be a bit of a push. So we need at least 4 games here. I want us to get not only above 100, but our record on broadcast is 103 goals. Oof. That was the last broadcast we did.
It was.
Imagine if every broadcast gets... I'm not saying it.
Don't.
Just use your imagination and imagine.
Yeah, you guys watching at home, make sure you're counting down with us, because 17 goals needed for that 100.
Also because I'll forget.
He'll definitely forget. It's 30 seconds.
Forget what?
Precisely.
I love you on set.
I'll try and forget that. Hopefully that disappears a little bit quicker than the usual. But tell us a little bit about Allegiance. Like, run us through the couple of players who are going to be representing them today, because again, we always have people joining us here for the first time who are getting into competitive Rocket League. What can you tell us about these two players?
Yeah, Tyler and Seabass played in the North American Rival Series in this previous RLCS, managed to qualify back into the RLCS after taking second place in league play behind FlyQuest. Seabass had quite one heck of an offensive year, to be honest, much more than his previous season in the RLCS, so it'd be good to see him come out here and put those skills on display in 2v2.
Are you expecting them to potentially, both of you obviously favouring Allegiance in this one, do you see this team as being one of the potential qualifiers?
Yes.
Who are going to make it
Absolutely.
through to regionals? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's that answered, isn't it?
I think when we came in this week, like, we already had 3 of the teams that we expected to qualify. I mean, we've got 4 spots for the next round. We have 4 teams that we're looking at right now. It's sort of an easy slotting game for us when it came down to it. But a loss here throws that all up.
Yep.
Let's just say Allegiance loses. That completely throws up the lower bracket. There's a potential there that we see some of these teams that we predicted to move on clashing against each other in that lower bracket final. So
Try not to panic.
don't panic. Don't lose, because not only do
calm.
you make your life harder, you make someone else's life harder.
That's very true. Well, you guys at home, of course, we love you all for joining us here in London for the closed qualifiers, and we want to hear from you guys for this final series as well. So use that hashtag UOS2. What is it, Shogun?
You just said
I
S2.
know, but I
Come
wanted
on,
you to
mate.
repeat it. I know. Actually, I'm just making sure that he was paying attention. That was all. It is, of course, UOS2.
Do you want an echo chamber over here?
I want you to pay attention, Shogun. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
But let us know at home who you think is going to take this series. If you think Allegiance are going to be moving on and putting in some more performances on a Thursday. I love you really, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Oh, he's finally reciprocated.
There we go. Just took me
That's all I needed from them.
It took me a little bit of time, but let's get on with it now.
gonna-
It's going to be Allegiance versus Kingdoom. We're about to get into our game number 1. Gentlemen, I believe for the final time today,
Yes.
until tomorrow, take it away, do your thing.
Thank you very much, my new lover.
Goodbye, my lover.
So we get ourselves into our final series. Kingdoom. They've got themselves to this point, but they're against one of the front runners, making it through to the next round. Remember, the winner of this, they progress through to Thursday. They don't need to show up tomorrow. That's a long lie in.
Oh, no.
That could be going for a straight drop down. Doombug can't quite get there. But the winner of this will be playing against Evil Geniuses to try and make it through to the regional finals. All the pressure so far from Allegiance.
This has been a weird first 30 seconds or so. Oh, my goodness. Seabass.
That was silky smooth. Allegiance have got the lead, and they've got it in some style.
And the best part, it's like that's like a snail's crawl forward. It's like the defense is just waiting there like, come on, do something, do it. And then as soon as they commit, he finally just cuts them down 1-2, and Seabass gets him on the board.
Time Not Tyler automatically with the challenge. Gonna go a little bit too high. Follow-up is gonna be there. And through the smoke screen, King Rani will be scoring.
Yeah, and this is kind of the exact opposite end of the spectrum. Instead of waiting on Seabass to do something, they waited. They saw Seabass make a mistake, and they just punched the ball up the field quickly and turned it right back around. And they've tied the game up in fairly short order. And King Rani and Doombug will be very grateful to have that back on even ground.
King Rani taking it all the way around. He's got Doombug in support. Plays it pretty early. Seabass waiting all the way back. Tyler can't quite get there in time as many of us... Oh, wow, that's going to be a shot. Just can't quite squeeze it in. King Rani is all the way back. He's going to leave that actually whilst he tries
nice
to bump away
play.
at Tyler, but Seabass already there. He might have actually got into his own teammate's way. Still offensive pressure on for Kingdoom.
A couple of really great bumps there from King Doom. Trying to get that one going through, but
It's one of the best, like, we've seen a lot of teams out there that just sort of combine 2 of their names. This is one of the best ones out there, but that might be one of the worst offensive chances we've seen.
oh wow.
Seabass, he needs to do so much better with that. 2 players committed from Kingdoom. That has to be going in.
Well, I think he really just tried to do too much with it. Nice save there from Doombug, but I agree with you on Seabass needing to do better, just in a different way. I think all they had to do was just, you know, hit that off the back ball and let Tyler finish that one off.
Well, it's going to be Not Tyler. Follows up his own touch. going to be so dangerous, especially since most players are expecting that to be a pass. King Rani just can't quite get there, and Tyler picks up his first of the game.
I'm trying to wonder why Doombug didn't go up for this. He's sitting right here in the middle of the field.
Once you're sort of facing there,
he got caught moving out towards the top of the box and then reversed back into net. Just wasn't facing completely sideways to really go up and get it. Unfortunate.
So 2-1 now, Allegiance. Got themselves the lead. That is free for those of you that are counting down.
Ah, yes. See, I already forgot until you just reminded me.
14 left before we hit 100. We're going over to the side. King Rani. He's got 6 boost. He has got a dream. Unfortunately, that dream will not be coming true this time around. Just Allegiance challenging absolutely everything, whilst Kingdoom trying to lock down that defense.
Oh, no.
This is looking like a big struggle right now. Kingdoom have not got any real pace to their defense right now. They just keep getting themselves onto the goal line and stopping completely still. They've got to get some sort of pace going, otherwise they can get trapped. It's a good flick up from King Rani. Gets it over top. Seabass will be able to cover. But for the first time in a while, Kingdoom have got themselves forward. Doombug loses the challenge. And now King Rani is by himself. He's got very little boost. But he's going to be happy to see that ball not on target.
You know, that shot from Doombug was actually quite unfortunate. He made a great read on where Allegiance was going to put that ball out in front of his net. Just didn't quite get enough mass behind the ball to really float it through. Tyler able to hang with the missed touch from King Rani there and back the other way onto orange.
Off the backboard. Looking for the bump, but King Rani was already out of position. Tyler with his brace. But Kingdom, just the defensive positioning is a little bit lackluster for me right now. They seem to be getting to these positions a little bit too early.
Yeah, we've definitely seen worse, you know. They're in roughly the right spot. The problem is the precision isn't quite there. Not reading exactly where that ball is going to go has definitely cost them a couple times here.
So 2 goals up now. Allegiance playing solid Rocket League so far. King Rani might have actually found that over to Doombug. Just too central. Needed to get that one straight back to his teammate.
Oh, King Rani just tried to go steal the boost. Doombug's going to have to buy a lot of time. King Rani's kind of a lame duck right now with nothing.
King Rani tries to find a way out. These long balls not doing much of anything right now. Allegiance's defense. I mean, anyone that did follow them in the RLCS will know that if there is one thing they can do, it is defend. It's going to be very difficult to find 2 goals to get past them. Seabass, he's got time. Oh, that one dropped down, but Tyler, he's been blocked as well. I've been better served going all the way back, but Allegiance, their rotations, especially on the defensive side, have been so quick. They just keep recovering, not allowing Kingdoom any opportunity to move forwards.
You hit the nail on the head. If there's one thing they can do as a team, it is absolutely defend their net. And you will rarely see them get caught out with a wide open net to shoot on.
Well, 3-1 could be the end result here. Seabass, he's not going to move too much further forwards. They know they can see this one away. That is the game secured for Allegiance. It's now all about pride. And Allegiance are having absolutely none of it. 3-1. Game 1 is over.
And it looks like our favourites coming out of the gates hot in that game number 1. I wanted to actually get you to break something down a little bit more. You were discussing it during that game, talking about Kingdoom's defense, and I always like to keep an eye on, guys who might be watching for the first time, talking about their defensive position and how they were making it difficult for themselves. Firstly, why? And secondly, how can they adjust that in this game number 2?
So it's actually something that I've seen a lot of players do in terms of they can actually be a little bit too fast with when they try to defend. They use a lot of boost to get into a defensive position, and then they have to stop. And as soon as you stop moving, your position isn't really worth much because you've then got to use extra boost to try and get over to it. You have to use pretty much boost. What you're trying to do is time it with your opponent's offense. You're pretty much shadowing it in that sort of way where you should be turning up in defense as the shot is coming in or as the setup is coming in. So that way you've got extra speed and extra power to get rid of it.
Layman's terms, you want to be behind the play. Once you start getting out in front of it, you have to use extra boost and time to go back and fix it. And generally at the top level of play, that extra time it takes to reset yourself on position is all it takes to get scored on.
Well, I mean, it was a solid start there from Allegiance. They did take their chances when they came, but again, it wasn't the flashiest of games from either of these two teams. Again, like we've seen for the majority of it today, quite an attritional battle, and It kind of makes me obviously excited for the rest of this series and seeing how this works. It's kind of a tactical battle between the two teams trying to work each other out, but also for the rest of the following days we've got coming up as well. We've seen, you know, in day one previously in the other qualifiers we've had, it's been 3-0 Central, let's be honest with you. But every single match today has been closely contested, which just makes it more and more exciting. If you're only watching for the first time today, make sure you tune in tomorrow and obviously the following day on Thursday as well, because we're going to have some real serious series on our hands.
Yeah, and I think in this particular series with Kingdoom and Allegiance, if it's going to be a war and attrition, that really favors Allegiance.
Yes.
As a team overall, they have always favored a counterattack approach. They don't mind being under a lot of pressure on defense. They're very comfortable with it. They don't mind having people put pressure on them. And it's all going to be about if Doombug and King Rennie can really break that apart. Do they have the ability to create opportunities on defense versus these very strong rotations? How Seabass and Tyler move around the pitch in the midfield, give a little bit of ground here, take a little bit of ground there. It's all about, can they create an opportunity against a team that's so comfortable being on defense?
It's interesting to see Allegiance obviously opting to play to their strength essentially in this game, and it's been interesting to see maybe if they move on how that goes up against maybe a more aggressive team, especially if you look at a team like Ducks on Quack, the way they were playing early on. And it might have been like if we said before this bracket started, if those two matched up, you would have gone, okay, Allegiance you favour here. But we talk about play styles and clashes. Again, another region for Allegiance not to want to drop down to that lower bracket, because there's a potential matchup that could not go in their favour. But we're moving on to our game number 2 now, gentlemen. Allegiance, obviously, you know, pretty solid in that first game. Not too many mistakes from either team. Do you feel like Kingdoom are going to be able to address maybe some of those issues they had in that first game, or is that something that kind of is a mechanical problem or something that is going to be more difficult to iron out over a series than it is over time, should we say?
It's kind of hard to say because there wasn't any I'm not looking at them play right now and just going, wow, this has to be fixed.
Yeah.
Right here, right now. I mean, maybe the defensive timing can get fixed a little bit, but that is me being
But that still makes it like at
this point in time.
You still go into overtime even if they don't make those 2 slight position errors.
I think if they get a win, it's going to be a 1-goal game. I think Allegiance don't really have it in them to sort of, you know, slide down. It's going to be tough. It really is. They're taking on top opposition. They just got to keep playing this fundamental game, and maybe they can pick up a win. I can't really say much more than that because I don't want them to blow up the ship, you know, trying to fix 1 or 2 things. You know, it's just a case of do what you're doing, just do it that little bit better, and you can pick yourself up a win. Don't change everything to try and fix this 1 or 2 small things.
Well, let's see if they can fix these things then. We're about to get into our game number 2 here between Allegiance and Kingdoom. If you're just joining us, Allegiance, they're 1 up in the series. Kingdoom got it all to do.
It's the interesting thing, It's the interesting thing about how you set up plays in Rocket League. More often than not, you'll see the mechanically gifted players being the ones setting the plays up just because they can make so many people miss. And it's that much more effective in a 2v2, and that's what I'm really trying to hint at when I'm saying King Rennie and Doombug have to make an opportunity on offense. They're going to have to make somebody on Allegiance miss, and it's all about do they have that mechanical ability to make that happen.
The really scary thing as well when Allegiance are as quick as they are when it comes to recovery is the boost steal. They can steal it as quickly as they want to. They're going forward, putting the ball into your side and taking away your resources. It can be incredibly scary to be against. And you see Seabass has already off and done that. Seabass now up. Let's see what he can do with that boost. And he's going to score off it. Allegiance just got map control to start off this game.
Yeah, really just cruising here. Brilliant feathering of the boost. Just lightly tapping it all the way into the net. And I'm not sure if that was Doombug or King Rennie who tried to dive at it. Just didn't go high enough really to challenge it. Probably expected Seabass to not make the perfect touch into the top-hand corner.
I mean, Seabass just went from the corner to the net.
Yeah.
That is
corner
ridiculously
to the far
hard
post.
to do.
Corner to the far post, even.
There's a statement made right there. It's Doombug looking to just try and fall on that one. But Allegiance, they're exactly where they want to be. They can now just maintain solid rotation. Seabass, he is just tearing apart right now. You give the man 100 boost, and he is doing work with it. Doombug just happy to try and lamp the ball away. But Allegiance, their play have been so solid right now. There's very few areas for Kingdoom to move forward, especially with the low boost that they've currently got. They've usually got to go for a big clear and then try and work towards the middle.
Oh, here we go.
Doombug. I think he was a little bit surprised, but he's faked it out, but it's not on target.
Tough break. and you know you got to try and make something happen on offense, and you throw something different at Seabass just to see what he does, and it finally slips through, and it's unfortunate that that one's off target.
What you're seeing right now, actually, is something that's been very rare today, is how much more we're seeing the ball in the air.
Actually,
Allegiance are putting this as high as they possibly can, and they're stealing boost. Guess what? That is a basic and very winnable strategy of,
oh yeah,
go up. Oh, you can't. That's unfortunate. I can.
Yeah. And isn't that the greatest feeling? But it definitely works. It's a if there's two fundamental approaches to Rocket League, one is, you know, solid on the ground, good passing, don't get caught out on rotations. The other is launch it really high and don't let the opposition get to it that easily. And if they do get to it, they're going to use a lot of that resource to go and do it, and they won't have much to follow it up.
Well, one goal still the difference right now, but Kingdoom, outside of a fake earlier on, have really struggled to create opportunities. Jeez. But Allegiance, they're taking their few opportunities and they're making them stick.
And why not keep it up higher? King Randy tries to go get that one. Problem is he's having to track it down, and Seabass is just closing the distance on it, lifts it up even higher, and says, Doombug, you're going to have to make one heck of a stop if you want to keep this one out. And he just can't make it.
When you're low boost, it's almost a suffocating feel to it.
It really is.
Because the answer usually is, okay, we'll get the boost.
Yeah.
And it's not that simple. You have to, you know, completely sort out the rotation. You've got to be faster than the other team. You've got to have map control.
And half the time
the sentence control the boost is saying, okay, be the better team.
Yeah, and half the time you're hoping, look, if I'm going to go get boost, please don't put it in my net.
Yeah. So hard to do, but Allegiance, they have the control right now. Nice half flip there from Doombug. Hasn't got it past Seabass, though. Seabass wanted the infield pass, but King Randy right there. Back out again. Doombug.
Not a good touch.
Straight over to Seabass, but it just seems like there's... I mean, this is almost like it's a standard game right now for Allegiance. And I don't mean in terms of the way they're playing it, as in it looks like they've got 3 people on the pitch.
Yeah,
that's how fast they've been moving.
Very willing to push up out on the midfield, throw it sideways, just make the defense react. And it's a rare sight when you get to see Allegiance flex the offensive muscles again, because they're such a defensively minded team that we always talk about. And it's always a real treat when you get to see them put the pressure on other people and just show what they're capable of. Ty just launches one from midfield. I kind of disregarded it because I figured they were going to save it. But Doombug kind of hands it to him on a platter. King Randy is racing towards the corner for boost. And again, it all comes back to get the shiny thing, you know?
I mean, it's desperation at this point in time for Kingdoom because they just want to get rid of it and then somehow have time to grab some boost and then follow up their own touch. I mean, it's a laundry list of stuff they've got to do. Within that time, Allegiance are just picking up the ball and doing whatever they want with it. There's going to be yet another shot, but right into King Randy. There's going to be the flick over the top, but the defense from Allegiance. Only 1 goal scored on them so far this series. They have looked barely troubled.
And that's why we won't hit 17, because Allegiance doesn't let things
I feel like we needed a different team. Ducks on Quack versus Soul Esports.
There we go.
are. That would have been the series right there. Not Tyler. Oh, we're going to go for the style points. We're going for the style points. Sweet as you like there.
It's such a pretty touch here from Ty as well. He says, Seabass, you want it? Go get it, big boy. And he launches it up high in the corner. Perfect redirect from Seabass. You can't ask for much more than that. Randy and Doombuggers, they're still racing back to defense like, I have no idea where this ball is going. Oh, that's right. It's in my net again.
Just know as soon as that one went in, Ty, not Tyler, just said... It's going to be a good few months. It's going to be a real good few months. You know, these two have been together for so long at this point in time. Yeah. It's a level of synergy that you really can't get from much of anywhere else. And we're seeing it right now. I mean, it's not panicked. It's not fast. I mean, it's actually incredibly fast right now. But it's so smooth right now from Allegiance that it doesn't look fast. They just... It looks great. Easy. It's great Rocket League.
It
really is.
They're making it look easy, which is always the sign of a team who are playing well. And you talk about how long these guys have been together, and in comparison to maybe some of the other players, I mean, it's just that natural synergy, that natural chemistry, which is something you can only get over time.
I mean, I can guarantee you the word that Seabass used when he wanted that pass up, which we'll see at the very end of these. I mean, this is a laundry list right now of fantastic goals for Allegiance. This really is. That one... was so close to going in. But the first one, we saw the corner dribble. And for Allegiance, this is just, it's textbook Rocket League.
Yeah, it really is. The placement has been great. Really testing Kingdoom to get up in the net, make some real difficult saves.
Just look at this.
Oh man.
That's brilliant.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's so pretty.
And it's so clean.
And every single one of those we just saw was pretty much created and scored from a high angle. Pretty much all of them are aerials, air dribbles. We saw a pass to someone off the backboard for an aerial shot. None of those can be challenged right now by Kingdoom because they've got no way to challenge.
Yeah.
Except hope.
It's just hope, but the problem for them is they're hoping that the ball goes straight to them, but these shots are being hit so well that they're just below the crossbar, which also you cannot get to without boost.
Yeah, I mean, Allegiance to me have been the most impressive team so far we've seen today as far as, you know, the all-round package. You know, defensively, you talked about how they're renowned for their defensive work. That's not been questioned so far. But offensively, arguably one of the most creative teams we've seen so far today. You know, we maybe have to take into contention their opposition. Are they up to the level that we've seen against some of the other teams? We always have to take that into account. But the all-round game from Allegiance, now they're obviously on match point. I mean, just one more game to go. It's difficult to bet against them because there's been no obvious weakness to their game.
Yeah, there's been pretty much no way for Kingdoom to sort of break this midfield line. They simply haven't been able to beat Allegiance to a lot of these balls. Say they take it on a dribble, they just don't have enough boost to make one person miss. Even if they make one person miss, they're going to have nothing left in the tank. The speed just isn't there. And speed often comes down to how well you read a game.
Yeah. Well, especially when it comes to twos, speed is probably the biggest factor when it comes to twos.
That's the crazy thing. Like, speed in, you know, across every sport, electronic or not, speed is the biggest X factor in general.
But this is the fastest esport out there. And we've got, you know, a team playing this fast right now. It's very scary to go against, but I mean, we're sitting here as analysts. I'm just going, yeah, they're faster right now. There's nothing. I mean, and them being faster, it's got more boost, quicker to the ball, more shots, more goals. They're winning because of speed.
The crazy part is, you know, like maybe 3 of those are enough to get you a win.
Yeah,
and you know, you've got all of that.
All
it's just like, okay, see ya. Other team's done.
Yeah, I mean, Kingdom, they've got it all to go. I still believe in you guys, though. I want to see another Game 5, and we all know exactly why this is happening right now. It's because the man at the end of the desk predicted anything but a 3-0. You thought I forgot. My memory's bad. This has all been a troll up to now, just so I could catch you out. But the game is loading up at the moment, gentlemen. We're about to jump into it. What could potentially be our final game of the day.
Achieves, you ever said something and immediately known
Absolutely.
that it was coming back?
Yes, I 100% have.
Good, because I don't.
I love how
I'm going to show a bit of bias right now. Come on, Kingdoom! That was going to be King Ranny pushing over to the side as Doombug over the top of Ty Not Tyler. He can short his name down to Ty as much as he wants. He's Ty Not Tyler. Doombug, straight out. Low boost this time on Ty Not Tyler. That means Doombug gonna look to try and go over to King Ranny, who just about misses it. He's got an extra touch, and there it is for the first time this series. Kingdoom have got the lead.
Can they make him miss? They missed the first touch.
Forfeit.
That's always the fun thing to watch. You know, you go up for the first one, you feel kind of bad, and then you see it take that bounce, and you go, hang on, I can get this again. We can fix this. King Ranny makes the executive decision to stick with the play and ends up beating the defense.
Well, for the first time this series, and for the first time this tournament, actually, we're going to see how Allegiance play from behind.
No stranger to it.
So confident when they've got the lead.
But how do you play when you need to score one, right?
Well, I think they'll just keep playing this normal for the time being. This is definitely not...
Oh, there's plenty of time, for sure.
Yeah, this is not, you know, time to clutch it out.
Don't panic.
That's the word that you say immediately. Like, that makes me panic.
That's one of my, you know, if I'm going to make any emote, it's going to be a panic emote. It's like, don't panic.
Ty Not Tyler. I mean, see, I actually think this is terrible positioning right now from Kingdoom.
Oh, jeez.
They've completely misplayed this, and they've offered a way back in. Kingdoom, just take a look at the positioning right here. They've got no reason to be there.
Yeah, that's the big thing. That's when your rotations get all tied up. King Ranny expecting Doombug to go take that ball out of the midfield, keep the attack going, because he needs to back off and get boost. They both end up turning away because they're like, hang on, what are you doing? what are you doing with this play? And neither of them just understand what the other is doing. And they just run away from the ball, give a bunch of free space over to Allegiance, and Allegiance tips the cap and takes it all the way to the bank.
And there's going to be yet another one, 2-1. Kingdoom. That is just not the way they saw this one going after picking up that first goal. King Ranny, he doesn't even jump for that. I don't think he was... I think that was full ball cam.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just advantage of position to the offense. You know, you can see that play develop. The defense is having to have their camera pan all the way up above them, come back out, and they just don't have a good sense of where the offense is coming from.
That's going to be an opportunity. It's on target.
Oh,
King Ranny just sort of making sure of that one. But Doombug will find it, and now we're up to 2-2.
Yeah, a nice little clip there from Ranny, just going for a really aggressive challenge, trying to get things back in. And, yeah, King Ranny, just in case.
Just making the goal a bit bigger.
The buffer zone.
Ty. He's got plenty of time, and there is no challenge.
I'm writing stats down, Shogun. I didn't even see what happened.
Well, it's something that we've seen happen quite a few times. It just seems like that boost kickoff is not working. I think that's the 4th goal we've seen conceded because of it today.
Yeah, and it's kind of I don't know if... There's two schools of thought, you know. I'm not a big fan of the cheat up. I like to... Well, I also play 3s. But I also go get boost in 2v2. It's all about how aggressive you decide to take the challenge, you know?
Yeah, I mean... Especially for rank 2, you're not really too sure about the teammate kickoff, but you've been playing with this guy for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
You should know how that kickoff is roughly going to go.
But, you know, you can't have every kickoff go perfectly. And it's how you handle when it doesn't go perfectly that's the difference maker. And they get a little bit too antsy. They go for a slightly aggressive challenge. And then they're beat on the quick touch into the net.
Well, they've got to find some way back into this. Half the game remaining. Kingdoom, a goal down. That might actually drop straight in the net. Doombug just realizes it at the final second. Saw one of those earlier on. That resulted in a goal, but this time it will not. And Doombug's shot low enough for Seabass to be able to get there in time. He's going to try and show off a little bit. That's not a great bounce there. King Ranny. After a little bit of time, Seabass is still sat around, and that is actually going to go in.
Yeah.
Seabass, I think he thought that he had the spacing correct. He certainly did not.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like he was back far enough, but 136 kph, well, okay, it was probably around 100.
It was sped up.
Probably around 100 when it was coming down the pitch, and yeah, I think it's just slightly misreading how much time you really have to work with. But if I'm going to blame anybody for that, honestly, it's going to be Ty. He kind of went up for a weird, pointless challenge up in front of the orange net, and I think if he just rotates back in the midfield, he probably stops that one.
Well, we haven't seen one of these tied scores really be settled on by either of these teams, and we almost didn't see it again. Seabass with a miraculous save. King Ranny didn't really commit, half committed. Now Tyler avoids the challenge.
This has been an interesting game 3, Shogun.
Doombug has actually put it to Seabass, and it's into the net. 95 seconds left. Kingdoom, it's a scrappy game, but I think a scrappy game is exactly what Kingdoom needs.
Yeah, why not? I mean, Seabass caught a little bit too far forward, trying to rotate back, and geometry's not in your favor. Catches the spoiler, chucks it into the net.
4-3, Kingdoom. Doombug already up. Tyler winning the ball outright. King Ranny, he's gone for it. Seabass has got to try and get the setup. It's rolled incredibly awkwardly.
Yeah, they wanted anything but high that time, right?
Well, the boost has been much better challenged here from Kingdoom, but King Ranny, he's challenging a lot with very little boost. He's left Doombug in a very difficult situation that he's not dealt well with either. Kingdoom, this might be the most shaky minute of their entire life. They've got to try and keep it as a current scoreline, maybe even add to it. King Ranny stealing the boost this time. Tyler can't get the challenge win. There's an opportunity. King Ranny can't get there. Doombug has missed the ball. I don't know if Kingdoom are going to score a goal or concede it at this point.
Now you get to that point. How does Allegiance play when they need to score one? How do they do it here at 40 left?
They're still looking pretty calm. To be honest, they might as well. Kingdoom might just turn it into their own net. Doombug can't quite get the rolling shot. They keep aiming for the arced part of the wall. 30 seconds now. King Ranny.
Oh, man.
That's a terrible pinch. I wish he would just sort of position himself and wait for it to come to him, but he's determined to get the goal. Tyler there. Follow up. 5 goals to 3. Kingdoom might have this. I'm still not fully convinced after what I've seen this game.
Well, Shogun, if there's one thing that you can take away from this, it's that your future self is safe. It is not...
Another prediction correct.
And that's what counts.
That's what counts.
I have no idea what to make of this game number 3, to be completely honest.
I think Onset might have somehow cursed this, because he turned around and said that Allegiance was the most calm and comfortable team we've seen today.
Now, I will say, as I feel like the unbiased mediator between you and Onset, this feels like Onset blames you, so you get to blame Onset, and you know.
I don't know what you're talking about. Hi, Onset.
Well done, mate.
Cheers.
Well done. Good.
Cheers.
I mean, a strange game, gentlemen. A very strange game, and I feel like Kingdoom kind of just went, look, if we're going to go out, we're going to go out with a fight here. We're going to go out with a, with something to shout about, and that just completely threw Allegiance off their game. They took it to them. They really did.
I mean,
I'm so sorry. Just to let you know.
It was a very weird game, wasn't it? But I feel like weird is... I mean, we've seen Fundamental Rocket League, and let's be honest, Allegiance are better at it. Yeah. So why not just throw yourselves at everything, even if you're on zero boost, even if it doesn't make quite that much sense. Just do it anyway. And I feel like the chaos it created was perfect for Kingdoom, because Allegiance, they were suddenly taken out of their comfort zone.
Even after almost a minute sitting in the post-Lavia match, I'm in the same boat I was at the end of that game. As I still don't know what to make of that, because I don't feel...
I don't think that's replicable.
Yeah.
What is the word for that, actually? Is it replicable?
They can't replicate it.
Yeah, let's go for that sentence, shall we?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure what Kingdoom and Ranny really did to beat Allegiance.
I feel like they just gave up comms and started screaming for 5 minutes straight.
Yeah, it's like, you remember the interview we did with Sathu, like, let's go to DC, It was kind of just that the entire game. It was like, let's go!
You got to bring the hype. You got to believe. Sometimes you just got to believe, and I think that was what those guys just did there. They kind of stopped trying to play Allegiance at their own game, because I think, as you say, Allegiance are better at that. They just tried to be disruptive, and it was almost like Allegiance are so well versed in standardized Rocket League and what to expect that's what threw them off. They didn't know how to react to the unpredictable, and I mean, it was almost playing strangely was genius in a way.
It's very much a case of, I mean, you see high-level sports where they've got all of the top stuff around. It's a plain field. The ball's gonna go nice and softly. It's going to roll across the ground. But then they go to a League 2 or something like that, and the ball is just bobbling everywhere. You don't know where it's going.
Yeah,
that's what's happened in that series.
Well, it looks like we're almost ready for our game number 4 here. I mean, we've had game 5s already today. We've had exciting close series. Question I put to you just before we get into this one, Achieves, is: are we going to see a game 5 to close it out?
No, absolutely
fair
not.
enough.
I don't. There's no way the previous game can possibly repeat itself. But if we go to game 5, I think it's going to come off the back of King Ranny and Doombug beating Seabass and Ty Not Tyler at their own game.
Oh, Seabass going to try and get back up. We saw to start off this game, the ball almost just bouncing straight into the net. See, like a level of no longer being in control of the defense from Allegiance, because Kingdoom, they were stuck behind the halfway line in the last few games. Whenever the ball was on the Allegiance defensive line, they were willing to allow the blue team just to slowly play the ball out. Now they are challenging absolutely everything. That's a good fake out. King Ranny, he's got options now. Infield pass was a choice, but Ty Not Tyler right in his face. And it was as soon as King Ranny looked across for the infield pass as well, it was like, oh, you're over there. Oh, wait, hi, Ty.
It definitely is a case of timing, because as a defender in that scenario, you have to make a very tough decision. Do you wait in your net, try and give your teammate time to reset themselves, or do you make this aggressive challenge and go all for nothing? And, Ty likes to play aggressively. He doesn't have any problem. That's a great demo. That's probably going to be a goal, though. Absolutely.
Just like that. You haven't got that many defensive lines left. If you can take out that one, it's an open net. Seabass did exactly that. So Allegiance have got the lead once again. They have not dropped a lead yet.
What do you think happens on kickoff? Should they go for boost? Nope.
No,
double cheetah.
Oh, wow. I don't see it too often from the middle kickoff. I feel like the middle kickoff is one that can go much further against you than the side kickoffs.
Very true. Much more likely to stalemate, that's for sure.
Doombug. Straight over.
Ooh, that was
quite
a tough
be
one.
on target and achieves. I kind of want to bring this over to you. What are we at right now when it comes to Race to 100 alert? As we add yet another one to it.
We're at 101.
101?
That's 101 right there.
2 away from
and, you know,
our records.
You're guaranteed at least one.
You're guaranteed at least one. Okay, that's cool.
So you're guaranteed 102.
It is one each.
And here we were thinking by the middle of game number 2, there was no way we score 17 goals from this series.
8 goals in the last one really helped. King Rani looking to take control himself. He's got the option to keep it going, especially after Seabass's touch was not great. Ty does have it covered. Low boost, though, on him. Not too sure what Seabass is on. It looks like he might have picked up that back one for himself. This is a midfield mauling right now from both teams, both trying to just control the field. King Rani might have set it up. There's the follow. It was actually Doombug with the setup.
It was a rare time you saw Allegiance get kind of tied up on defense a little bit. Seabass, when he was curling out of his net, sort of took a couple extra moments to decide where that play was going, and that slight hesitation can really cost you.
Seabass already there. Good challenge win there from Doombug. King Rani trying to set himself up, but he is out of here.
Oh,
he
nice
will be
bump.
back in time. I think he's on the left-hand side. He's going to step
he
out.
made it.
Oh, you can guarantee every second of that demo where he's just looking out across the field was absolute agony.
Now, the worst part is when you get demoed, you can't move your camera.
No.
That's the worst part.
The only true RNG in Rocket League is where you spawn from the kickoff, and that was the wrong place for him. Oh, the bumping play was fantastic. The shot less so. 1-1, 2 minutes left.
And Ty will be kicking himself for that one. You know you got to convert that one. You do not want to go to a Game 5. Give your opposition nothing. Because you go to a Game 5 in a series like this, you might as well flip a coin. Regardless of how well Allegiance have played in those first 2 games, anything happens in 5 minutes.
Kingdoom, it was characteristic of them during the last game. Looking sloppy on the defense, but sloppy is working. More
nice
bumping
bump.
plays. I think King Rani would have wanted more from that. Seems like the car he was bumping was just locked to the ground. Follow up. Just catching with the side of the car. King Rani keeping the pressure on over the blue side. I don't think it's going to really cause too much, but he's still around. Just mauling away, and there's the follow-up shot. 2 goals to 1. Kingdoom are on the verge of sending us to Game 5.
See, here's the best part. That actually all started from Doombug on that first challenge. You don't get to see it in the replay, but it was how he took that challenge from Seabass as it came off the back wall. He let himself rotate his car backward. Instead of trying to just win the challenge, he let Seabass hit that ball into him, and it just stuck the ball right there on that blue half. And then you just got to see King Rani and Doombug, you know, do what they did in the last game a little bit, just dive at the ball regardless of what may or may not happen. And Allegiance just didn't have time to really get set and play a sound defense that they like.
I gotta say, as we head towards the final 50 seconds, Kingdoom, their main strategy has just got to be, yeah, no defense, because they have not looked comfortable on defense at all. Doombug trying to play it out. King Rani straight to the corner.
Man, that bounce. Playing havoc with Seabass.
It wastes extra time. It frustrates him that tiny bit more. Tyler beat to it.
you're
Doombug,
kidding.
he's probably got this on target, and it
kidding.
will not be able to be caught up. 3-1.
You know, I think I said something about, you know, not going to Game 5. So,
I'm impressed. That takes some serious courage to not default into defense and instead start challenging the midfield. Especially when you know if you lose that, you're out. Aerial misses where you're not going to land on a wall take you out for about 10 seconds. That would have been a 2v1 defense that would have been left on Kingdoom.
It is forever.
Now, Doombug, very happy to sit down here. 10 seconds remaining. Allegiance need to go quick and they need a kickoff.
Nope.
But it's not going to happen.
Done.
Instead, it's going to be another one against them. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to Game 5.
And you know, the best part is it's the exact same story as game number 3. I still have no idea what to make of it. I've seen it twice in a row now, and I have no idea how Doombug and King Rani came out on top.
It's... I feel like Allegiance are trying to go for the same strategy, whilst Kingdoom are playing better around it. Like, the boost strategy, they're still playing the ball in the air, but Kingdoom have got the boost to deal with it now. And they're beating them to the ball quite often. But on set, I mean, what are you making of this at this point?
It's game 5, baby! That's all I know. And it's the second time today I got to say it, and I'm excited about it because this has been a very strange series.
It has.
But we have another game 5, and this is the kind of day we want on day 1 of these qualifiers.
We never get this on day 1.
Exactly.
Really don't.
It's a nice change of pace. It's nice to see such a tightly contested group of teams all coming together here for the Universal Open. Another 5 goals in that series, gentlemen.
That puts us at 104, right?
104 right now, but
Hey, new
somehow
records.
Kingdoom have sent it to the game 5. Again, I mean, Achieves, you've got your hands up in the air right now. You're still not sure how this has happened, but
like
they have made it happen.
It all happened in the last minute. I mean, they put the go-ahead goal in at 48 seconds.
That's key. That save was absolutely key from
And
King
that
Rani.
miss from Allegiance.
Allegiance, either of those go in, I don't see them dropping the lead. But it didn't, and then Kingdoom, I mean, they just sort of sniped away a few goals.
Sorry, did I say 48 seconds? I meant a minute and 9 seconds. I don't know why I wrote 48 seconds down in my notebook.
So
It's fine, we all make
here's the big
mistakes.
thing here, is that we've been in this position before.
Yeah.
A lot of these unfavored teams have made real matches of it. They haven't pushed it over the line.
That's the thing, isn't it?
This is the last chance.
Exactly. This is the last chance for one of these teams, the less favoured teams, we'll have to call them, to pull off the shock result. We haven't had one yet this week, which is the one thing that this week has been missing. The guys on Kingdoom now, they have the potential to pull this one off in a game number 5 and also complete the reverse sweep. After 2 games, gentlemen, we thought this series was done and dusted. I mean, we were expecting a 3-0 the way that Allegiance were playing, but Kingdoom, we don't know how they've switched it up, but they have switched it up, and it's almost controlled chaos from them in these last 2 games, and it has worked for them.
It's like, you know, it's like playing a barbarian in Dungeons & Dragons, you know? It's just like reckless attack, and you just hope for the best. And a lot of times it works out, and sometimes it doesn't.
I'm going to nod because
I've
never
willing
played
to be skeptical, but then I realized I can't be skeptical. So
It's just, I have no idea what we're going to get. I literally have no clue what's going to happen in this Game 5. It's like, I expect King Rani and Doombug to just go out here, dive at the ball, take the exact same approach, and they either win the challenge and maybe win the game, or they lose the challenge and they lose the game.
And the thing is, if they lose, you feel like they'll lose badly as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the scary thing for them.
It's like it's all or nothing, and it's like, well, let's see what happens.
I have so much respect for that approach to thing. It's like, look, if we win, we're going to win. If we lose, we're going to lose badly. But it's the only way we're going to pull off the win. So
exactly.
Shout out to the 2 guys on Kingdoom here. It seems to be working for them right now. I hope they keep it up in this game number 5 because, I mean, Allegiance have got to be rocked right now. I mean, after the first 2 games, they would have probably been looking ahead to, you know, tomorrow, Thursday, thinking about the next games. But before they know it, click of the fingers, and it's a game 5.
I do think Allegiance have enough experience behind them to not be super worried. You know, it's always in the back of your head, but I think they've been through this enough times that they're going to be like, all right, let's go play some Rocket League. I don't think they're too psyched out about the game 5.
About you, would you be worried?
I think
I'd be worried.
I'm
not saying they're not worried, but like they've been through it, and I think
I don't know.
okay.
If I was one of these players, I don't know what I'd rather do here in terms of getting through to the next round. I don't know if I'd rather play the game or just have a really important game of rock paper scissors.
You just put it all on the line like that.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, that shows how much Shogun backs his own ability at Rocket League in this situation.
I make no bones
I
about
think
it.
I have a better chance of winning this series if we go to a game of chance. Anyway, it looks like game
You
number
put
5
me against the Legions or
is
any of these
about
lot? No.
to go down, gentlemen, for the final time today, and it is going to be the final time today. Take it away, Allegiance versus Kingdoom.
It is all to play for. Remember, winner of this skips tomorrow and will play against Evil Geniuses. And what a shot! An even better save there from Tyler. Achieves. This game starting off with an explosive exchange.
And I love that Doombug and King Rani get to start it off.
Well, Doombug's now got it on his hood. Goes up high and he's got it past. Took 23 seconds, but Kingdoom have got the lead.
You know, and Doombug goes for the, my preferred dribble strategy is the drive in a straight line method. And it works out more often than not because he just goes right over the top of the defense there. So hats off to you, Doombug. When you can make people miss driving straight, you're doing pretty good.
Now Tyler looking for the double tap. Hasn't quite got the boost for it, but here is Seabass. Immediately challenged by Doombug. And it just is such a mauling from Kingdoom. Allegiance just don't seem to have a response.
They're trying. Like, Ty's just racing back to net here, hoping he can make it, and they're putting strong shots on net.
I think that might have been a misclick.
I agree, but they're testing Allegiance. It's like, sure, he made a mistake, but they're saying it's the evil genius approach, you know? Hey, save this ball, and they cracked.
Allegiance, they're trying to play further and further forward. They've been caught out. Seabass charged with getting to that one. Doombug, though, winning the challenges. And this has just been a masterclass in how to adapt during a series. King Rani gets his shot saved. And Allegiance, they'll be so happy with that. They need to avoid that 3-goal deficit.
Exactly. If you're Allegiance, you gotta score the next goal.
This is critical alert right now.
Yeah, I mean it's go time. It's red alert. This is all or nothing. If you go down by 3 here, yeah, you got 3 minutes and 40 seconds to work with, but it's surprising how quickly that time ticks when you're not in the lead.
Doombug just going to sit behind, wait to see what Tyler does. A late follow-up. Doombug looking for the top corner. Seabass forced to push away. Kingdoom, I would not expect them to overcommit right now.
I would.
I mean,
I absolutely would.
I don't know, man. We've seen, there's been 2 responses to this so far from the teams we've seen today. Either reckless abandon, or, yeah, we're okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
I don't know which one we're going to see from Kingdom. It looks so far like they're happy to settle into a 1-1 rotation, leave one person on the ball, and just someone else hold everywhere else in the field.
And I think that's the wrong approach, except when you make a miss out of the midfield and it's a free goal.
This is why you're not Coach Chiefs.
I guess.
I mean, this is actually a goal we saw earlier on from, I believe it was AJ, where he's forcing players that are behind in a scoreline to come and get a challenge on the wall and just flick it over the top of them. It's a basic bit of gameplay, but Allegiance, they don't have a choice in the matter. They've got to go. Seabass. Up high, looking for the midfield pass.
Kingdoom have outscored Allegiance 12-4 in the past 3 games.
Oh. That's not good.
That is not good.
Allegiance, they've got a score 4 in this game. They've got to try and match their previous 2 games total. Otherwise, they will be dropped down to the lower bracket. Tyler over the top. I think King Rani might have been bumped, but he's still there. Infield pass, but it's only over to Doombug. I like that Doombug took the offensive position of the other team, knowing he could just push it to the side. That's good. It's going to be Seabass, and that is into the net. 2 goals now, the difference. 2 minutes remaining. Allegiance just trying to slowly wear down Kingdoom.
So the comeback starts now. It's a well-placed ball from Seabass. He knows he's got to get it behind him. If he goes forward, momentum will definitely carry the defender into that. Good presence of mind to stay behind the play and get that one back around. So it's a long way back, but you got 2 minutes to work with, and you'd like to get one here. Ty on the dribble, goes near post, crushed. Probably tried to do too much with it. I think if he goes right down the middle, he probably gets it home.
I don't think he needs to do anything more than just cut across it. Just slam it into the top corner. Tyler. Oh, very nice save there, but it's only out to King Rani. Takes the shot. Will be cleared. Kingdoom, though, they're just relentless with their offensive pressure. Holding the midfield incredibly well. Allegiance have got to find a way out.
Oh, they're right there.
And you can see King Rani, he's just turned around and he's ready for the next one. Every single touch from Allegiance is loose.
And it's like
immediately followed.
They don't have a lot of boost either. They're getting just enough boost to make the play work.
Kingdoom are doing to Allegiance what Allegiance did to Kingdoom to start the series.
Yeah.
And there's going to be the follow-up shot, and now, as much pressure as Kingdoom had, that minute is the longest minute of these 2 players' lives.
It really will be. And that's kind of the dice you decide to play with when you try to get just enough boost to make the play work. It relies a lot on your opposition not being able to break out of their own half, because you could see Doombug and King Rani just didn't have anything left in the tank to get back on defense and stop that play. It's a one-on-one now.
Oh, King Rani, he's won it. Tyler, he'll be there. Kind of surprised that Tyler didn't actually... Oh, wait, who? No, it was Seabass that was behind. Seabass actually had an option to go for a bump. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so it was Ty that had the option for a bump on his way out.
Ty was out in the side of the pitch. Kind of behind the play, but yeah.
30 seconds now. Kingdoom have just got to hold on. They've just got to keep winning challenges. Ball in the middle, but King Rani half rotates, gets a hold of it. Every single challenge they win is 10 seconds off the clock. Seabass, that's a misplay from him. He's put it straight over to Doombug. 0 boost. He's going to take a while to get back. Doombug gets challenged. King Rani trying to find the side. He's won it once again. That is huge. The ticker is going away. Follow from Doombug. It's on target. And for the first time, we are going to see the underdogs come through. 5 seconds for 2 goals will be too much to ask from Allegiance. Kingdoom, they've done it.
And in quite, I don't want to say impressive, but I think stunning is what I want to say. Because I don't think we expected, anything out of these guys after game number 2. And, all the credit in the world to these guys. I don't know how they did it. I still don't know how they did it 3 games in a row, but like after, it was 4 minutes, 28 seconds in game 5, they're up 2-0.
I mean, I turned around after the first 2 games and said, okay, Allegiance are faster. I'm going to turn around after game 5 and just say, well, Kingdoom were faster. That's literally it. That's all I can add to this.
It's so true. I mean, we're looking at that series, and somehow Kingdoom have pulled off a reverse sweep there. They managed to not only match the speed, but as you say, they played faster in those last 3 games. They somehow managed to win a close game number 5 as well. And it just seemed like Allegiance, after they lost that first game, they didn't close out the series. To me, they looked a little bit rattled. And then you look at that game 5 there and the way that that's been played, they were fully rattled to me. And I think, the reverse sweep, whenever it's on the card, it's the last thing you want to happen as a team. When it happens, it's a heartbreaker for you.
And they did it in such interesting fashion, It's not, they didn't play faster by controlling the boost.
No.
They played faster by sacrificing boost. And it's such an interesting...
They held to what they had.
Yeah, it's such an interesting decision to make. Be like, look, we don't have the time to play how we would like to. We have to give this up if we want to be able to play as fast and beat these guys to balls. And they made it work. So, all the credit in the world, Kingdoom. And we'll see you tomorrow, I suppose. No, we'll see you Thursday.
Thursday.
We'll see you
They've
Thursday.
got evil geniuses.
Oh, I mean, I feel a little bit sorry for Allegiance. We mentioned it beforehand.
See,
that lower bracket...
I feel sorry for someone else as well, because this now really messes around with the lower side of the bracket, where now one of the teams that loses
has to play Allegiance.
Has now got to play against Allegiance, a team that they would have expected to be elsewhere, the team that they wouldn't have expected to have to see at this point in time. So when we get to see the bracket later on, we're going to see who has got to deal with that.
Well, first of all, we need to remind everyone at home, thanks to our fantastic partners over at Soylent, we managed to do it. We managed to break a record. We scored 110 goals this evening, which translates to 1,100 meals for the World Food Programme USA. Fantastic performance from everyone involved. Thank you so much to Soylent once again. If you want to get involved, head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open and get involved with what is a fantastic cause in the fight against hunger. So we did it, guys. You said it couldn't be done.
Well, we were skeptical.
You didn't really say that.
No, we were skeptical. After that game 2, and there was 6 out of 17 total. We were like,
it's going to be a hard one to beat, though.
It's going to be very hard. We had a lot of game 5s today, a lot of elongated series.
I think this is like the midway part of our season, so for the qualifiers. So
yeah, pretty much.
We've got the rest of the half of the season left before we find out whether or not that can be beat.
Well, one thing we can find out now, and I love you guys to speculate on this, is always the State Farm assist of the day. Now, I think you both gave it away pretty much early on.
I think it changed. I think it changed.
Okay, what are you going for?
I'm going for the pass to Seabass when he was up on the backboard that we saw. I think it was the previous.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Do you remember that one?
In the pass to
Yes,
Seabass.
over in the corner.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be a good one. And
yes.
now that you say that, I think I agree with it because I forgot about that one until you said it. So, yes, I would say that one as well.
Well, let's find out exactly who is our winner of the State Farm assist of the day. It is going to be Invisible Drumroll.
FlyQuest and Soul. All right, what do we got?
All right.
Touch.
Savvy.
To himself.
Okay.
We can give you the double tap pass off the back wall. It's unsavable.
I think there was like 5 or 6 options today that I would have been happy if they turned up today. That was just the one that I remembered quite vividly. But at the same time, I think that one was possibly more integral to the game, whilst the one that we saw, the game was already over at that point.
Yeah.
Well, let's take another look at the bracket. Let's have a brisk bracket update, a final look for today, because, I mean, that last game has thrown everything into jeopardy as far as some of these teams are concerned. You can see on the right-hand side of your screen right now, Cloud9 and FlyQuest, they're waiting for to battle out for one of those qualification places to regionals. Evil Geniuses and Kingdoom are going to be battling out for a qualification spot. But then we look at the lower part of the bracket, and this is the Shark Pit. Allegiance taking on Vape Noise, Ducks on Quack taking on Heroes of Tomorrow, Soul Esports taking on TBA, and Uncharted taking on Butter Brothers. But Allegiance falling into that elimination bracket. I mean, gentlemen, we wouldn't have said it beforehand. It was almost one of those shoo-ins for a qualification spot. That's throwing everything up.
The long road gets harder, and that's what Shogun was talking about, you know?
Yes.
Now somebody down there...
So if they do manage to get themselves to the lower bracket finals, they will take on the loser between Kingdoom and Evil Geniuses.
Yeah.
So maybe a chance for a run back there. But after what I just saw, EG, I would not take them lightly.
Yeah, certainly not. They were forced to play a pretty textbook game versus Ducks on Quack. Thank you. I had
How
to look
do you
at my
ever
notes.
forget that name?
I know, right? Out of all the names I'm going to forget, it's going to be Ducks on Quack. But the fact that Evil Geniuses was sort of forced to play a textbook game of Rocket League surprises me. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out on Thursday, and whether or not Kingdoom can, you know, apply the same strategy that they applied today versus Allegiance, and see what they can do versus Classics and Corrupted G. So Allegiance is going to be a long day tomorrow. You've got at least 2 games of Rocket League to play, and you're going to have to play well. You cannot afford to start strong and then fizzle out.
Well, that's what they did today, and unfortunately for them, that means that they will be back with us tomorrow, but good news for you guys, they'll be back tomorrow. So, of course, we want to hear from you guys as well ahead of tomorrow. Use that hashtag UOS2. Head over to Twitter as well and follow at Universal Open so you can keep in touch with everything going on in the Universal Open Season 2. But, gentlemen, I think that's going to do us for today. It has been a very, very exciting day of Rocket League. As we say, the most exciting day one we've had so far. It seems like every single week that we go on in the Universal Open, things get more hotly contested. We have more goals. I mean, we couldn't ask for much more from today, could we?
Yeah, this was certainly...
And we had the upset as well. I nearly forgot.
Oh, yeah.
The one that's missing.
But, yeah, this was definitely the tightest game day one that we've ever had. Usually, like you said, we're pretty used to the 3-0s, the occasional 3-1, and usually day one is a bit of a wash. But today has been quite a surprise, I think, for a lot of us here.
Yeah, and we came in today just saying this is probably the most depth we've seen from a region. That ended up being very true. I think even more so than we actually originally anticipated. So this is just day one. We've got 2 more days. You don't want to miss any of them.
No, you don't. And we're going to be back at the same time tomorrow for day number 2. We're going to be running all the way through that lower bracket and sending some teams home, unfortunately. But some teams will be fine, of course, to stay alive and give themselves a shot at qualification for the regionals. But that's going to do it for today, gentlemen. Thank you so much again for providing the fantastic commentary of these games. That's going to do it for us for today. But just a little reminder for you both. We've got 2 more days ahead of us and we've got 2 more weeks ahead of us. But we'll be back same time tomorrow. We'll see you then.